It's the first day in League One. Unbelievable, really. When we're only 5 years into this save, that's some pretty good going when we started in Conference North. Hello and welcome to part 41 of the Bolton Battle. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our first game of the League One season away against Middlesbrough. We're playing against proper teams now. Look at that for a run of the first 3 games. Middlesbrough, Forest, Charlton. I know Forest are in the League Cup, but still, we're not going to be winning games 6-1 every week now, are we? We'll also have a little look at the transfers, and look, we've got money again. But it's at a cost. And the board, they've done 2 things over the summer. A really cool thing and a really stupid thing. So if we look at the really cool thing first, I think I'm pressing on the right button to show the cool thing. If we go into our affiliated clubs, we're affiliated with Ipswich, my dad's old club. There's not really any players that we'd know there. I mean, we're going back 10 seasons at least since I left Ipswich. So, Joe Shaw was a young teenage prospect when we were there, and he's 32 now for us. So, we're not going to know anyone. But it's still fun to be affiliated with Ipswich, who are still flying high in the Premier League. I'm not sure where they finished last season. We can click on them and see where they've... look, there you go. We left them in good shape. They've still finished 6th 10 years after we departed. We left then. I think the second place season was the last full season, left around Christmas. So what was that? That is 10 seasons ago now, and they've pretty much stayed as a top half Premier League club, still in Europe. I'm impressed. Man City have won the Premier League 8 years in a row now, by the way, including those 3 we won at the start. So clearly we can build a club for the future, which bodes well for Bolton. But what doesn't bode well for Bolton is the other thing that the board did, the stupid thing. There we go, facilities, that's where we need to click. So, we currently play at the Macron Stadium, formerly known as the Reebok, the stadium that Bolton play at in real life. 28, nearly 29,000 seat capacity stadium. We've just taken out a £5 million bank loan and agreed to sell that ground. So in 2 years' time, bearing in mind 2 years' time, should be just moving into the Championship. If we carry on with our normal establishing season, promotion season, we're moving into Nat Lofthouse Park with a capacity of under 14,000. That's just like 500 more than our average attendance from last year. It's less than our highest attendance from last year. So just as after 20 years in the wilderness for Bolton, just as we're looking to get ourselves back up to sort of Championship level, which, I don't know, historically feels about right for Bolton, we're going to give up our 29,000 seat stadium, which is still less than 50 years old, and go to one that's, it's not even fit for League One. We'd moving into that ground now. It's not big enough for us to move into now. We're not moving in for 2 years. It could be a problem. Could be a big problem. And could really hamper the progress. So far, we've done really well based on the fact that we've had bigger budgets than everyone else because we're getting bigger attendances than everywhere else. And I was hoping that could carry on through League One and into the Championship. We'd still be competitive on attendance. And that just ruins everything. And we need a new plan. So, transfers this summer. Let me know in the comments what that new plan could be, because I'm genuinely stuck for ideas. There doesn't seem to be a way to convince the board not to do a new ground. We've already taken the loan out for it. If we have it, we're already paying for this new ground. It's ridiculous. We were already in debt, and we're now paying out. It's this one, I think. So we're now paying out £42,000 a month for a stadium that's going to leave us with half the capacity that we've got at the moment. It's just so stupid. I just don't understand. How many season tickets have we sold this summer? That's another way to gauge this kind of thing. It tells us on here somewhere, doesn't it? Doesn't it? General. That's the problem. We're still only getting less than 7,000 season ticket holders. But our average attendance last year, records, that's what we want, isn't it? So if we look at attendances, average attendance, look at our average attendance is rising year on year. Last season in League 2, 11,500. And highest attendance, look at it. For the last for 4 of the 5 years I've been at Bolton, our highest attendance for the season has been more than the capacity of the new ground. When we were in the Championship before, back at the start of the game, average 27,000 that season. We're not even going to be able to fit half that number in the new ground. It makes me cross. The posh job's available as well, and I don't know. We'll see where we are in 2 years, and if that really does stop the save being fun, we might just take them back to the Premier League and leave it there and forget the crazy idea of highest ever league position, because we're not going to finish in a Champions League spot in a ground that only holds 13,000 people. It's just not going to happen. So, transfers over the summer. We've let quite a lot of recognisable names leave the club. So, we'll say goodbye to Finlay Gooden. I think we can agree that after, was it 2 years at the club? 2 years at the club. I think it's fair to say he probably was. But goodbye, Finlay. Thank you very much for your service. Kenny Dodge, Richard Perry never really made it. Danny Swift has gone as well. Mike Berry, sad to see him go, but never really recaptured his form from, I guess, the National League promotion season. Although he didn't do too bad in our first year in League Two, but obviously Tom White came in and just stole his spot last year. Yakubu Obi emerged as well, and bye-bye Mike Berry. Ben Booth left the club. We'll get back to that in a minute. We also lost a lot of the young players that we brought in from Man City when I first arrived. Nathan Lawless has finally gone. Jimmy Mannion, I think, was another one. Matthew Brown as well. Stevie Young's an odd one because he left. I don't know if this is still going to be glitched. No, it's not. When I looked at this yesterday, it said he played 245 games for us last season. It's fixed itself now though, so I should have taken a screenshot probably. And also, probably most significantly, club captain Gary Albinson, having played over 200 appearances for Bolton, has now left the club, and he's left us for probably our closest League One rivals. Salford came up to League One the year before we did, and he's now tootled off to Salford. I don't know if he's going to be a regular in their team. Does it say on his contract? So he's gone there as a backup player. Could have stayed at Bolton as a backup player, Gary, but you were insistent that you wanted to go. You are earning a bit more money there, I guess. And Carl Roberts has left the club as well. Few guys have gone out on loan for the season just to get a bit more experience. Obi, Sinnott, and Andre Glover, of course, he's going to be at the club forever, has gone out on loan again. It's his 3rd season in a row on loan down in the Conference National. So, lots of players out. Who's come back in? Well, most importantly, Tom White is back. We've secured him on loan for another season. It was touch and go for a little while. We didn't manage to get him until he actually went back to United and then came back to us on the 4th of July. That's why you can see him on this season's transfers. I think we have to go back to last year to be able to see the others. No, we can't. Basically, we've got Alonso and John Durant are back for the season as well, but you can't see them on there because they just renewed their contracts. They never actually went back to their parent clubs. So they're still at the club also. Also on loan, we brought in a different defender because we couldn't get Matthew Wesley back, so we brought in Ramiro Pantan from Sheffield United. Actually looks much better than Wesley. I think we've done quite well here. Young Spanish player who signed on a free transfer for Sheffield United this summer. From Villarreal. We did try and sign him on a free transfer. He wasn't having any of it and was probably on too much money. Actually, that's less than we offered him. But he wasn't having any of it on a free transfer. But as soon as he signed, they agreed to let us have him on loan for the year. So he came in on loan. And also we brought in a young striker, Mark Parnell. Comes in from Cardiff, 18 years old. Just to give us a few extra options up front. We don't know if he's going to be any good. He's never played a game for anyone, but it's always good to have a couple of extra bodies around the squad. The rules in League 2, I believe, League 1, sorry, Football League in general, you can only have 4 long-term loanees in the team at the same time. We've got 5. I don't know if we've just broken the system because 2 of them officially signed on last year, because I think you're only supposed to be able to have 4 at a time. But they are all on season-long loans, but I will be very wary of playing all 4 of them in the same game, so we'll have to see, won't we? And then we've got our usual deluge of free transfers. Not as many as normal, actually. But some good ones in here, hopefully. Not Finlay, obviously. Bye-bye, Finlay. Thank you very much. So, first one, Stephen Bagley. 31-year-old centre-back with plenty of League 1 experience and League 2 experience. We've basically done a swap with Salford here because he's been at Salford for years. He's come in on a backup, probably on more money than he was earning at Salford, and we basically swapped him for Gary Albinson. He's a long-serving player who's played over 200 games for Salford. we've swapped him for a long-serving player who's played over 200 games for Bolton. It's weird, but obviously they just both fancied a change. So Bagley comes in, and I mean he's a decent-looking defender. He's getting on a bit, so he's not going to be around forever, but will do a job for us this year. Ben Booth came back because I didn't realise we didn't have any left-backs. I let Yakubu Obi go out on loan. We hadn't yet re-signed Tom White. It was looking like we weren't going to get him. We had no left-backs at the club. So I panicked, re-signed Ben Booth. So he's in for another year. He's only on a 12-month contract. He'll just be a backup to Tom White again. But he was a backup to him last year and played 20 games. So he might well do something similar again this year. So Booth is in for another season. Connor Key, 24-year-old, Northern Irish international. There you go, we're signing international players now. He's got 3 caps for Northern Ireland. Central midfield player, comes in from Chesterfield, where he's played over 100 games in League One, having arrived from the Irish League. So I'm hoping he's going to form a nice partnership with either Durant or Martin, or the 3 of them together, do something special. Hopefully that'll be very pleasant. And then we get this man. He's the new Modou Fall, because we've signed him we're signing from Spurs. We didn't pay £28 million for him like we did for Modou Fall, but he is a striker who's come through the Tottenham youth system, and he looks like he's got the potential to be a bit special. He's lightning quick, excellent finishing. I mean, we're talking League One equivalents. Obviously, he's not Modou Fall lightning quick or good finishing, because he's not in the Premier League, but at this level, could do a job. He's not actually called the Battery. His actual name was, where is it? Augustine Abubakar. Which is too much of a mouthful for me, but it's AA, isn't it? Double A, the Battery. Get it? Yeah? See? That's what you're here for. I mean, that was worth missing a day yesterday, so you can find out all about the Battery. Alan Mitchell comes in. He is a centre-back who can also play at right-back or right-wing-back. He's going to be in as a centre-back for us. All it says there is a right-back. And he might well end up playing out there as cover. No, he's in as a cover at centre-back. Played lots of games for Cambridge, again in League One experience coming in again. We usually like to sign players from the league above. That's been our pattern so far. We can't get Championship players to come in, so we're signing League One players, and hopefully that'll be enough to get us to sort of mid-table, or at least not relegated this year. And then the last signing of the summer, Delgon de Barros Semedo, who is... I mean, is that a country? Sao Tomean? I genuinely don't know where that is. If we click on it, do we find out? Oh, here you go. We get a map. Somewhere in Africa. Is that an island even? I mean, it's a country with a nickname. The Selecao dos Felcaos Papagaos. I mean, no idea. Apologies if you are from some Sao Tomea. Let me know any other famous footballers who hail from your home country. 66 caps and 5 goals from that. I mean, that's a bit worrying. He's a striker. He's only got 5 goals and 66 internationals, but I guess that's because he's playing for a terrible team. He's actually come... I mean, look, most valuable player we've ever had at this club. Nearly worth £500,000. Comes in, looks like he's going to be... he's a good Championship level striker, as is Ross Ainley and Wayne Pennock, apparently. But... Semedo comes in on a free transfer from Southend, and look, this is important. Bags of goals for Southend in League 2, but also in League 1 as well. They obviously signed a replacement for him last year, and he's not played a lot of games, but he is a proven League 1 goal scorer he has a 20-goal League 1 season under his belt. So hopefully goals, that's what we want. So I'm pretty comfortable with that as a summer of business. We're still £10,000 a week under our wage budget, so when we do our usual thing where we panic in about mid-September and bring in a few extra players, usually forwards, we have got some money left to do that. And if you ignore the whole nonsense with the ground, overall I think that's a pretty successful summer. So this is the team that we're going to be playing today against Middlesbrough. So we're sticking with our tried and trusted system. How long we'll stick with it for, I'm not entirely sure, because sooner or later, playing attacking in this way, we're going to get found out. We're going to have to change things around, but we're not going to do that until we have to. Interestingly, I cleared all the scout numbers this summer and just did sort of auto-select on squad numbers. Cleared them all and auto-selected new ones just to see what would happen. And quite an interesting thing has happened. Can we show you squad numbers on here? Where are we? I don't think we can we? That's frustrating. There probably is a way to do it. I don't know what that way is. But basically, there are very few what you would consider regular players who've got sort of 1 to 20 squad numbers. A few, like the really good players who we know about, did, but then the ones who you think, oh, they were good for us last year, they've just sort of started from number 30. So Jordan Barrett given the number 30, Martin 32, Shaw 34, Mr. Beige number 37, and it goes on that way throughout the whole squad. Russell Bye 36. So the game is kind of telling us which players might not be good enough for us this season, which I think is quite handy. That's a nice little feature / bug. We'll call it a feature. So this is the team that we're playing today. Jordan Barrett is in goal. A back three of New Boys, Bagley and Pantan with Mr. Beige from last year. Last year's 60-assist wing-back partnership of Tom White and Enrique Alonso are together again. And then in midfield we go for Lee Martin, New Boy, Connor Key with Durant. Is he injured? Yeah, John Durant is injured. That's why Key is going to be in. He's got a bruised thigh, so that's why Durant can't play. And then John Jones in behind Joe Shaw and Ross Ainley. We have got New Boy, Mark Parnell and Russell Bye on the bench as backup options. So there's no room in the side today for Semedo. He only signed yesterday, so he's only at 58% match fitness. The battery also doesn't make it into the team for today, but expect to see some of them soon. And of course we've got a return of Martin Tomic, who is in and around the squad as well. 17 goals in 25 games in the conference last year. I'm in two minds whether to loan him out again, try and get him out into League Two to get some goals, but we'll see how we start the season off before making any rash decisions. So let's get into today's game. Submit our team. I feel like I've pressed that 4 or 5 times already, which, I mean, it's always good fun, isn't it? I'm looking at the Middlesbrough team as if there's going to be anyone I recognise, forgetting I've been away from any league that Middlesbrough would have been in for 15 seasons, and we're so far into the future now there'll be no real players left. So the chances of me knowing anyone are pretty much nil, but we had a little look anyway. Didn't recognise any of them. So how are we going to make the step up? That's the big question. I don't see why Joe Shaw was given a 34 as a squad number. You'd expect him to be good enough for this level. Oh, Barrett showing why he was, though. I mean, that Jordan Barrett was so important and so good for us last season, and it did set off a little alarm bell in my head when he was given the number 30. Oh, hang about. I thought this lad was good enough to get us all the way through to the Championship, but the squad numbering is telling me that we might be replacing him. We haven't actually given a squad number 1 out at all, and there you go. I don't know if we've just proved magic squad numbering correct, or whether Barrett has said, you know what, you've given me the number 30. You've left number 1 and number 13 free. You're bringing in 2 more goalkeepers. I don't care anymore. I'm going to do stupid stuff like this until you give me a proper shirt number. I mean, it could be a bit... I'd probably react that way. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think this is going to be our hardest step up to a new division that we've had yet. We've had it easy. Well, not easy, but I guess when we came into the Conference National, we struggled a bit for the first half of the season and then went on a really good run. League Two was a little bit more comfortable. We were always sort of a mid-table team there, but I expect this to be a relegation battle this year. I think the step up from League Two to League One is a big one. Almost as big as, I mean, they're all big step ups now, aren't they? It's going to be a massive one next time up to the Championship, and then even bigger to the Premier League. So, I don't know. I could handle 3 years in League One if we have to. I don't want to, but I could live with that. It gives us time to rebuild a little bit. And of course, move into the new ground. Stupid new ground. Right, Joe Shaw showing me why he was given a number 34, because he's not doing anything at all. Weirdly, we're having more possession than Middlesbrough, which, I mean, that didn't happen very often last year. We weren't really a possession team. We never have been. We're a whack it out wide, get some crosses into the big lads kind of team, which, I don't know, I guess we've not had the opportunity to do that yet. Alonso wins it back there, though, and John Jones lumps it forward to Ross Ainley. He was never going to make anything of that, and we've got to do better than just lumping things forward. Lee Martin, by the way, is now formally our club captain, because of Gary Albinson moving on, and Wayne Pennock is vice-captain, even though he's not in the team today, because my assistant manager reckoned it was a good idea, and who am I to argue with him? He does all the team talks and stuff. He's clearly a motivational genius, which I could do with around about now, because we're not creating anything. I don't remember us having a shot yet. Lee Martin now, out wide to Alonso. Can he get in a cross? He finds Martin again. Why are we not crossing? Ainley is in. Somebody cross the football. Alonso crosses to Shaw, and it falls to Ainley, who does tuck it away. See, he's showing you. He's a championship quality player. We haven't got many of them, but my assistant manager reckons Ross Ainley is one of them. And that was it's just a nice, tidy little finish. And it's 1-1 away from home at Middlesbrough. So all the moaning you've had from me, but we would bite your arm off if you offered us a full-time whistle at this point. Because 1-1 away to a team like Middlesbrough would be a fantastic result. Right, Joe Shaw not having a good game. Shall we have a look at Mark Parnell? Or shall we bring on Russell Bye, who at best is a good League Two player? I feel like we can have a look at the new boy. Mark Parnell comes on for Joe Shaw. Who plays as target man now? Or are we now reaching that point where we might be able to play a complete forward? No, we're not. Can you be a complete forward? No, you can't. One day we'll get to complete forward level. I do like a complete forward. Right, that seems to be the best way around for those two. So Ainley drops back to be the target man. Parnell is going to be the poacher. Mr. Beige also not having the best of games, so Gareth Thomas is going to come on for him. If I can actually drag him across there properly. See, another one who's been given a high squad number. Obviously not good enough. I suppose Wayne Pennock would have been an option to come off the bench as well, who might have been the best of the three options because he's supposedly a championship level striker as well. So forgot he was on the bench because in my head he's still a midfielder, despite the fact he's just always been a striker for us. He's going to come on as a midfielder now though, and he's going to come on for John Jones, and we're going to just shuffle things around a little bit, make him a shadow striker, and we're going to make what's this guy's name? Key? Yeah, Key. We're going to make him a deep line playmaker. I'm just going to do that. So just adjust things slightly. So we still want a playmaker involved. But he's going to lie a little deeper. And we're going to play a shadow striker. And we're just going to try and get an extra body up in their penalty area. They're only playing a back four. So an extra striker in there could cause havoc. If we can get a decent crossing position for Tom White or Enrico Alonso, with the three of them up there, we've got a chance of nicking a very unlikely winner. Jordan Barrett's picked up an injury now as well. That could be a massive problem. Pennock really looked like he was moving through treacle there. And there we go. I mean, 1-1. I'm happy with that. You lot should be happy with that too. That's a good result. Let's just see what's happened to Jordan Barrett though, because if he's picked up a serious knock, the whole number 30 thing does become a little bit eerie. It's like the game knew that he was going to get a long-term injury. So here we go. See, he's only strained his wrist. Nonsense. See, who needs a new goalkeeper? If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.